Anderson making the adjustment from forward to guard effective there.
Way back before the Pathfinders, before the Explorers, even before the Cherokees, there was Blazer. Now the first sport utility vehicle of its kind offers you all this and the performance of a 200 horsepower V6. You can spend thousands more on something else, but there's only one way to get the experience of a Chevy Blazer, the vehicle that originated the species.
For all of you with the courage to go it alone, to put your future on the line and your name on the door, there's the corporate card from American Express. Use it for all your business expenses. We'll organize them by category and even provide records of charges. It's a great way for any company to get a handle on costs. Call 1-800-SUCCESS. The corporate card to your success.
I know basketball. I used to ref the pros. And out here, sure, this is not as serious. How can it be? But with no uniforms, no coaches, no announcers, and especially no referees. How real can a game be with no referee? I mean, next thing you know, someone catches an elbow. Who's going to call it? See? Blatant lane violation, no call.
Want to run all your software fast? Then look for the Intel Inside symbol on your next computer. It says you've got a real power source on the inside. Like the upgradable Intel 486 microprocessor. Power it up and run your software at light speed. Intel, the computer inside.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with my partner, Mike Francesa, and Digger Phelps here in New York City. Good game there. Also a good game going on in the Southeast. Florida State in gold, trailing Western Kentucky by a point. Western Kentucky took his first lead of the game just moments ago, Mike Francesa.
At 47-46, Pat. Florida State had an 11-point lead in the first half, built it by getting inside. Digger in the second half. Douglas Edwards has foul trouble for Florida State and a little too much Mark Bell for Florida State also.
Well, you forget your inside game. Mark Bell's going to take this game over for Western Kentucky, and that's what's going to bother Florida State more than anything else in this half.
Three guys talking hoops here in New York City. Going to give you a big taste of that game at halftime. Meantime, let's go back to James Brown and Bill Raftery out in St. Louis, fellas.
All right, Pat, and we're talking hoops here as well as Matt Nover scores on the inside and is fouled. He'll take a trip to the free throw line. It's a 41-38 Indiana lead with 3:28 left in the first half as Chris Reynolds and Greg Graham come back into the lineup for Indiana. And Bill, you wanted to make the point why Calbert Cheney, who was in fact starting to take over this game, he's got 14 in the first half, but he's on the bench.
He's got the 2 fouls, and Bobby trying to steal some time, get into the second half with him with 3 to play with. There are many no-nos that used to be taboo. One was never enter the ball to the box from the top. Larry just made a great bounce pass for an easy deuce. So forget those old rules, JB. Step up to modern times.
Oh, no, if you violate it, you got to make sure it works.
You were out or ran. There's that double and triple. You got to kick it out. It's going to give open shots.
Now, if the inside-outside game works like that, then that should free up things for Rozier.
Well, Denny Crum said they never had the shooters. That's why he disdained the use of the 3. He's got them now.
Brewers got 10 in the first half. Cardinals trailing by 1. Short by Greg Graham. Tick Rogers with the rebound.
They all give a
cross
cushion.
court to Brewer.
Right? They all give the cushion to help out on the post pass. You're going to have to make these.
Rogers. A very unorthodox looking shot, but the guys say he is accurate with it. Reynolds, Greg Graham, Matt Nover, Damon Bailey, Ryan Evans, the 5 on the floor for Indiana in white. Bailey, rebounded by Smith. Ahead to Brewer.
Pretty good defender right here. Nice crossover.
Blocked partially. Bailey with the loose ball. Indiana with the numbers. Graham.
Nice handle by Bailey. Graham the rest. Rather simple. But on the defensive end, you've got a pretty fair guy pressuring the point now.
Good game going on everywhere. Triple overtime affair in Division II basketball. Tight one down in the Southeast region, and of course a good one here.
Rozier has so much company down there. They're going to have to make outside shots to release the pressure.
Nover with yet another rebound. He's got 3 in the first half. Indiana's on top by 3. 1:25 left in the first half of play.
Motion, flare-outs, curls, post-ups, you name them, and all in 1:45-second thrust.
Bailey open and scores. Bailey's 3 makes it a 6-point lead.
Here's that sort of stacked look, almost like a 1-4 look.
Rozier, one of the few times he was free to penetrate the lane.
Great call by Denny Crum. He hadn't been able to do much damage. Bring him out. He's got the foot speed to blow by. Matt Nover.
Rozier averaging 15 on the season. He's got 33 seconds left in the first half of play.
You've got to contain your own guy on the dribble penetration now, if you're Louisville. If you have to pinch, there are good open jump shooters.
The Hoosiers started with 10 on the shot clock.
Great.
Reynolds runs into Brewer. Charge Reynolds.
Should be getting the puppies up and down.
Reynolds is quick, but not that quick, giving away that much of a cushion. As we take a look at the tournament summary, George Washington, first Sweet 16 appearance. Their first appearance in the tournament in 32 years. All 4 #1 seeds still alive. And good hustle by Evans, and Evans comes away with the ball.
You got to watch a back screen and a loop to the goal. Leary coming in to give you another stroker for Reynolds.
That's Leary.
You know, there's probably Nover will take it out. You got to get one guy to take it out. They got Evans, so eliminates one shooter from the floor. Catch and shoot. Defense has to be ready.
Bailey tries it. Score! A 3!
You have to stay awake. Played for 40, JB. That's what all the coaches tell you. A little screen, square up, and Damon Bailey nailing it.
That's the end of the first half with the score: Indiana 50, Louisville 43. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Semifinal game is sponsored by U.S. Postal, 2-day priority mail service from your post office. Kellogg's, the best to you each morning. And by Intel, giving you compatible power to run the software of today and tomorrow.
It's tough to keep ahead of the competition. You gotta move fast to stay on top. You need 2-day priority mail. In 2 days, we deliver 2 pounds for only $2.90. If the competition's new rates are just too much, visit your post office to send 2-day priority mail or call 1-800-THE-USPS for your free starter kit.
We deliver for you.
Well, what do you think?
I think I feel safe in that car.
What about the money?
What about the lease?
Yeah, it's a good lease. Can you really see us in a Mercedes?
Definitely.
The win-win lease is available on selected Mercedes-Benz models. Visit your authorized Mercedes dealer for details.
Nothing tops the passion and intensity of March Madness. So why not relive this year's tournament action with the official 1993 NCAA Championship video by calling 1-800-999-VIDEO. It's all here, from the excitement of the opening rounds to the drama of the Final Four. That's 1-800-999-VIDEO to get your copy of the 1993 NCAA Championship video and share the glory with this year's champion.
This is CBS. Here's a sobering thought from Grange Insurance. When you're driving at night, 1 out of every 50 drivers on the highway isn't sober. If you spot someone driving like they may be drunk, stop and call the police with a description of the car and the location. You may just save someone's life. Want more safe driving ideas? Call the Grange Safety Hotline, 1-800-229-SAFE, for this free book of safety tips. Sure, you can count on Grange if you have a loss, but we'd rather help you prevent one.
When we say Super America gasoline helps keep your fuel system clean, what does that mean? Imagine these two sprayers are your fuel injectors. If gasoline lets excess deposits form, your car can't run efficiently. But Super America has Injector Guard Plus, our detergent additive which is so advanced it helped us pass the BMW gasoline performance test. So not only can your engine run smoother, it can run cleaner. It passed the experts test. It'll pass yours. Now.
CBS Sports presents Prudential Securities at the Hash. Sponsored by Prudential Securities. The most important thing we earn is your trust.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with my partner, Mike Francesa. Digger Phelps joins us from his golf outing in Tucson.
Sure.
74% Indiana's shooting. They got it all working for him tonight. We'd like to chat, but there's another game going on right now down in Charlotte in the Southeast Regional Semifinal. Florida State and Western Kentucky, a 1-point game. That's going out to Dick and Al. Dick Stockton and Al McGuire. Fellas, you're on.
Western Kentucky is leading Florida State by 1 point. And Darius Hall is on the free throw line, having missed his first free throw. And it's a 2-point lead with 12:47 to go in the second half. Dick Stockton, Al McGuire. Here at the Charlotte Coliseum, we were tied at 40 at the half after Florida State led by 11 at one time. May have been a little cocky when they came out tonight.
Well, I think now they're setting up better the half-court offense. They don't have the fast break. They're being a little bit more patient.
Charlie Ward, the Heisman Trophy favorite, obviously hampered by the injured shoulder. Ward has scored only 2 points and has 2 assists.
Cassell should go one-on-one right now.
He leaves it behind to Ward with 8 seconds on the clock. And Mark Bell trips him going in, and Bell looks to take the worst for wear on that one.
Their knees hit, and that's just kind of sore when you do that.
That'll be the first foul on Bell.
There's a spin. Now watch right there. See where the 2 knees hit?
That was Western Kentucky's 16th foul, so the next foul will be 1-1 for Florida State. Sura will inbound. Bob Sura tonight has scored 13 points. And on the turnover, there's been plenty of those in this game. Florida State has turned the ball over 14 times themselves. Western can open up its biggest lead. Darnell Meade, their leading scorer. Wild shot. We've got a lot of those too. And Chris Robinson got the rebound. It'll be Western Kentucky's ball.
So you want me to grade these? You sure? Just plain plates. I don't think you want me to do that. Try them. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. These are good, you know. They're simple, and they're crispy. Hey, I like them plain.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes. You mean I almost flunked Kellogg's Corn Flakes?
Taste them again for the first time.
Just because you got 2.3 kids. Just because you got a house, a lawn, and a mortgage. Just because you're now a responsible adult. You still know how to have a good time, don't you?
The new Grand Am Sports Sedan.
To be a college athlete, I have to be a leader. I realize that all my actions affect my teammates and friends. If you use drugs, quit. Don't follow the crowd. Be a leader. Don't use drugs.
If you or someone you know needs help or information concerning drug abuse, call this toll-free number, 1-800-662-HELP. This message provided by the NCAA.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, in partnership with the NCAA, provides funding and facilities for the National Youth Sports Program. Now in its 25th year, NYSP offers economically disadvantaged youngsters important experiences in sports and enrichment activities through summer programs at NCAA colleges and universities.
Based on the true story of a doctor that had 3 wives.
I'm gonna wear you out.
All at the same time. I don't wear out. Bo Bridges, The Man with 3 Wives, Sunday.
Western Kentucky Hilltoppers lead by 2. They had some injury problems during the year, didn't have enough guys to practice, so they had to woo some walk-ons, including members of the football team, just to, make it so that this team could practice. But Florida State, in their own right, had a lot of injuries this year. They lost Chuck Graham and Andre Reed, and we've mentioned Charlie Ward's injury problems and Gobard's hairline fracture of his toe.
You know what, Dick? I never call a team a Cinderella team until they get to the Elite 8. Now, if Western Kentucky gets to the Elite 8, they then have a glass slipper, and they got to go to bed before 12.
Just like we do. Charlie Ward goes to the bench. He's had a tough game tonight, 2 points. And Derek Carroll replaces him. So Cassell and Sura, the 2 guards, and Byron Wells, sprained thumb and all, gets the basket to tie it at 55 with 11:30 on the clock.
I'm surprised they stay so long with Charlie Ward. He was sitting out there the whole evening.
Short. Robinson, foul. Chris Robinson, who is not a good free throw shooter at 65%, will try again. With the score all knotted up, and the personal foul will be on Wells, his second. Fourth team foul against Florida State, and Western Kentucky has 6, so the next for Western will result in the 1-and-1 for the Seminoles. Here's Chris Robinson from Macon, Georgia. Well, a lot of outstanding players have come from that town.
You know, I used to coach at Belmont Abbott College, and we went down to Macon, Georgia, to play a college down there called Mercer. A long time ago.
I'm sure you beat him every time.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have booked him.
Yeah, on the road for sure.
Good rebound by Wells.
1 free throw. Western leads by 1. Sura pulls up for the 3. Out of bounds, same way. Western Kentucky knocked it out of bounds. It'll be Florida State's ball. Sura will inbound. They got Sura, Dobard, Wells, Cassell.
Edwards is not playing because he has 4 personal fouls.
And Carroll is the 5th man for Florida State. And they're going to call the offensive foul against Sura, who has been scoreless in this half, and that's 4 on Bob Sura. And I have to say this, Al, I mean, you've seen these teams practice and you've seen them play this year. Florida State's in trouble here. 11:03 to go, and their big guys are in foul trouble or not producing.
They're statistically in trouble with the 1 guy, the quarterback, being hurt, and 2 guys with 4 fouls.
Sura has not scored this half. Edwards and Sura each with 4 fouls. And a little starch has been taken out of the Seminoles. Long-range shot by Robinson misses. Gobard. Where would they be without Rodney Gobard's 16 points? But Western gets it back.
2 careless with the ball. Seminoles that time.
That's been their Achilles heel all game. And the bank shot by Mee.
And with 10:29, 10:28 left in the ball game, we'll go back to this game if it remains as close. A 3-point game now, and Mike Francesa, Florida State, this is not the team they wanted to meet tonight, I think, Western Kentucky.
And for them, Pat, this is now the Western Kentucky team that will not go away. Edwards and Sura, 4 fouls apiece. Ward hurting. Florida State trying to rely now on a perimeter game when they should be getting the ball inside, and give Western Kentucky coach Ralph Willard a lot of credit He has slowed the game down and gone to more of a half-court game against Florida State. It's worked very, very well.
We saw a turn in this game about 2 minutes ago, 58-55, and as I said, we'll keep you up to date throughout the evening on this game. Meantime, Indiana-Louisville, it's a 7-point game out in St. Louis, Midwest Regional Semifinal. We'll have that after a commercial and a word from your very own local station.
CBS Sports presents Prudential Securities at the Hash. Sponsored by Prudential Securities. The most important thing we earn is your trust.
The Grand Am's great. Well, what happened to the Accord? Yeah. I found out what the Accord really costs. With air, automatic, anti-lock brakes, $19,500.
Whoa.
Huh? They weren't talking to me.
Really? Wow. The Grand Am, they don't give that away.
Air, automatic, standard anti-lock brakes,
yeah.
$5,000 less than the Accord.
$5,000 less?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what that means a month? Got me into a new car.
What are you going to do with the money?
Eat.
Money,
loose-fitting jeans. A loose interpretation of the original.
A place of secrets.
We live in a world without norms.
You are happily married.
Totally.
A neighborhood like no other.
Something's funny here. What's happening to this community?
On a night known for drama.
This is weird.
Jimmy getting shot is no coincidence.
Comes the season's best new drama.
We've got a hostage situation here.
I'm gonna get you.
We'd like you to be our boyfriend.
I could give it a try.
Beginning April 1st, Picket Fences moves to Thursdays.
This is CBS.
Why is Levy's Kentucky Anna's #1 home center? Because only Levy's gives you lower prices plus famous brand names. Whether it's a faucet from Price Pfister or paint from Porter.
It was 8 o'clock in there, right? Yeah. My truck wouldn't start. And the lights worked, but the engine wouldn't turn over. So I figured it must be the starter, right? Well, I went to AutoZone. They said, let's test it. Turns out it was okay. So we tested my battery and found that it just didn't have enough juice to crank it. Now get this. I didn't have to spend a dime, because they even charged my battery for free. Get out of here. That kind of service? Hey, you just can't beat it.
If you're going to paint, you need more than just paint. Whether you sand it, scrape it, thin it, or brush it. Levy's will keep you on top of things with great selection and lower prices.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Semifinal game is sponsored by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Meta, the maker of reliable copiers and plain paper fax machines that increase business productivity.
Packed house here at the St. Louis Arena. The Hoosiers on top by 7. And for a strategical review of the first half, let's check in with Leslie Visser.
JB, the Louisville coaches are happy with the way they shot the ball. They hit 50%. They see two problems. Offensively, they'd like to reverse the ball, get some outside shots. Defensively, they put so much pressure on stopping Indiana's three-point shot that they gave up the inside to Graham and Chaney. They'd like to do a better job there. JB?
All right, Leslie and Bill, I guess that goes back to the point that Indiana really does have an effective inside-outside game. Let's take a look at that.
Well, when you look at the shot chart, you see the ability inside to score, which sets up your outside game. And you think of the penetration as well. In here, you got all the makes, and then around the line, the ability to nail threes.
Back to live action. Greg Graham handling the ball for Indiana. Matt Nover, Damon Bailey, Calvert Chaney back in, along with Brian Evans, the 5 for Indiana in white. Chaney was on the bench with 2 fouls, had 14 first half points, but that man with the ball, Greg Graham, strong half, 16 points.
Once again, the patience, the cutting, good deal. Oh,
and Morton came up with the steal, and that's a pretty aggressive play by Morton, who has 3 fouls. And Billy, I was about to ask you, Do you think Morton, what kind of player is he? Will he play a bit more tentative, or does he have to go out and play aggressively?
Well, offensively, he's always aggressive. But he really understands how to take advantage of his guy, particularly with the bounce and that deep shot. But I don't think I'd fool around that far away from the goal.
The foul was called on Nover, his first, inside to Morton.
They finally go at him with Bailey. He had post up early.
Strong grab by Troy Smith, and Smith is fouled as he goes up for the follow. And Boudreau has a foul called on Nover. That's his second.
Well, the big guys call it a rack, and you have to attack the rack. Here's the post up early on. Bailey at the size differential. They empty that side so you can't get the assistance. But get after it, fellas. Get those red shirts on the 10.
A little bit out of the vocabulary of our good friend Clark Kellogg.
Yeah, oh, did he have a day. I loved it.
Troy Smith off of the back of the iron. As you take a look at Denny Crum, 22nd year at Louisville.
So if you get it in that close, all of a sudden your offensive rebounders can push people under the glass and you can attack a little bit better.
And attacking is Greg Graham, and Graham is fouled by Legree. And Billy, I guess the point that I wanted to make about Louisville at the free throw line, a serious Achilles heel, only shooting 66% on the season, and that's one area Denny Crum would love to attack. They've gotten better with the threes, but boy, do they need to attack that area.
And then you look at Indiana and consistently able to double the output of the opponent on the free throw line.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they'll challenge people. You'll see the numbers, the ability to take guys to the goal. Look at the amount of makes, 482, 648. Unbelievable. But did you think you'd ever see an Indiana team with Bobby Knight having a guy go solo like Graham just did? But you better get to the foul line.
At all.
Over the years, he's adjusted. Modern day hoops.
Rozier. Evans with the rebound. Biggest lead of the ball game for the Hoosiers, 52-43, trying to add to it. Bailey kicks it back to Graham, and Graham off the mark. Rebounded by Minor.
And not back.
Oh my goodness, undercut that time was Morton, and Graham will be called for the foul.
Greg's mad, but it was just the foot that actually hit him. He tried to run on by, but the contact threw Dwayne Morton off. This is the kind of opportunity Louisville has been salivating for. Get it off the glass, turn, kick out, and right here as he turns under, you see the foot just enough to jar and throw the shot off.
Inadvertent contact. And you mentioned about Louisville trying to get into the up-tempo game. Only 5 fast break opportunities in the first half that yielded 4 points.
Been forced to a half-court game.
And Bill, I guess the obvious question then, if it becomes a half-court game, on balance, who does that favor?
Well, you would think Indiana, but if Louisville's able to find the reverse, able to dribble, penetrate, do those things on the offensive end, if they jam up on Rozier, then they can get it done as well. Constant motion. I mean, both of us would be out of the game with a respirator.
Oh, easily.
Guarding these guys, they down screen, you say, okay, I'll relax. Then they up screen, then they back screen, then they re-screen. So you never get a chance to relax and concentrate on help and position.
You get tired just thinking about it. Inside pass by Evans, knocked away by Legree.
And one of the other facets of Indiana, it's down to 13 on the shot clock. They will run it down when forced to and have poise at the end to get or select the proper shot.
And that is mentally frustrating to the defense.
Where's Bailey?
And Hopgood taps it ahead. Morton comes up 1-on-2. Rebounded by Minor. And Indiana comes up with the loose ball. An example of not finishing the break properly by Louisville. And Chaney on the line. John Clockerty got him.
That happens often when you step back for the 3.
If we take a look at Bob Knight, his 22nd season at Indiana, he and Crum both tied for 8th among current coaches for the longest tenure at their respective schools.
And Evans with a problem with his hand, maybe a dislocation as the doctor attends to it with sub Henderson so that they don't have to call the timeout.
Alan Henderson in limited duty in the first half was pretty doggone effective, Bill. Got a block shot.
Got out in the break. Not as tentative as when we were in town.
We were there when he sustained that injury in practice on the 19th of February. Strong move by Rozier.
Spin out, drop step. Gorgeous.
Only the 8th point of the game for Rozier and Bailey. Nice stop and go move by Bailey. He can't convert, and Henderson keeps it alive. Out comes Morton for Louisville. To LeGree, and blocked by Graham. Clean.
Fantastic. Going after it. Both ends, everybody attacking the glass. Bears the backcourt. Good passing here. The jump stopped, but Greg Graham never stopped. Full tilt.
And Morton trying not to stop, but can't get the drop. Nova with 5 rebounds. Chaney rebounded by Rozier. This is the game that Louisville wants, up and down. But good transition defense by Indiana.
And this is good, intelligent play right here. If you don't have it, make them guard a little bit.
That's what you call a good basketball decision.
And then in the exchanges defensively, little switching, subtle thing. Now Graham on Morton.
Morton really working hard, getting some decent shots, but they won't drop.
And Graham a little bigger, able to negate the attempt. Chaney never gets tired, JB. I mean, that's like a John Havlicek or I guess a Bill Bradley during your era.
Marvelously conditioned athletes, you're right. Just ran you in the ground. Bailey back to Chaney. And Calvert Chaney continuing his scoring onslaught. He's got 16 points. Chaney averaging 22 on the season, but 26 in postseason play.
And James, that time he took a bad shot the last trip, a little deep, waited for the offense, got himself into a good scoring area.
54-46, Indiana on top. 15:45 left in the game. Morton. And finally he gets one. And boy, look at the sigh of relief. 3 of 8 from the field for Dwayne Morton.
Damon Bailey uses those hands and legs as well as anybody. Pushing and banging Morton. That was a gorgeous kiss.
Bailey, as we well know, played a lot of center as well in high school, so he can post up very effectively and is strong. Legendary career in high school. Graham can get his own rebound. A loose ball.
That had to be slapped. I don't think he could have re-dribbled.
Obviously was touched. You're right. Nova, less than 10 on the shot clock. Greg Graham. Rebounded by Morton. Morton working hard. To Rozier.
Good
and
job.
Rozier scores.
Real solid. You know, Morton reaching back, fatigued, but yet able to make the proper judgment.
The Cardinals have fought back to within 4.
They've got Louisville standing up big, though. A lot of guys jammed in the 3-second lane the last trip. Not down. Rozier not in a stance.
Rozier a little winded too, Bill.
Troy Smith up big. They make you get to your knees.
Bailey. Tap in by Chaney.
And underneath, he was just too big as LeGree, who had switched, couldn't check him out.
LeGree. Back of the iron. Snatched by Chaney.
Chaney got away with a right out.
Loose ball. It'll go to the Cardinals. Timeout on the floor. Hoosiers on top by 6.
Why do people really like Toyota Paseo? Take this home lie detector test. I like Paseo because A, it's practical, has a driver's side airbag, or B, women dig it. A, it has 100 horsepower performance, or B, women dig it. A, Paseo starts under $11,800, or B, women dig it. Paseo, a very practical car. from Toyota.
There is a sound you can hear above the music. The sound of German being spoken by those whose passion is to live life. In your town, America, and the world, Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Both Visa and American Express Gold Cards can get you to England for the golf vacation of your life.
Charlie, how did your Yank do?
Well, we're up on the 9th tee, and he wants to be up in 2, so he puts everything he's got into the shop, including his new graphite driver.
But should you have a stroke of bad luck, only Visa Gold can get you back on course, because Cape Cornwall's only pro shop doesn't take American Express.
Keep a grip on it.
Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
More and more Americans are discovering that if they spend half of what some other top brands cost, they can buy a Murray, the best quality mower for the money. It's backed by a 2-year warranty and over 8,000 service dealers. That's made Murray one of the top sellers in America. And for the price, one tough, dependable mower. From walk-behinds to riders, even a complete line of mulchers, Murray is always tough as they come.
These days, people who want to save money on lunch are brown bagging it. Because McDonald's original hamburger is still just 59 cents. Our delicious cheeseburger is 69 cents. And that is no baloney.
Meet Amber. She's a superstar, but she isn't popular here. What would you do if a strip club opened in your neighborhood? Street Stories returns next Thursday.
Pat O'Brien and Mike Francesa, Digger Phelps of New York City. A couple of good games going on right now. Mike Francesa, a 2-point game now down in Charlotte.
They go back and forth. Western Kentucky has been able to maintain the lead. We're at the time of the game now where the point guards and the foul shooting Digger will come front and center.
Florida State, horrible. 12 for 26. It's going to cost them the game. Watch Mark Bell. Even though he's got his 4th, he'll take control, penetrate, get to the foul line.
Horrible as they might be, it's 65-65 right now. A good game, and if it stays close, we'll take you to the finish. Let's now go back to JB and Bill.
All right, Pat, back here. It's 13-12 left in the ball game. 56-53, Indiana on top. Matt Nova with the ball back to Calbert Chaney. Greg Graham, Alan Henderson, and Damon Bailey, the 5 in white for Indiana. And Nova steps out of bounds. It'll go back to Louisville. And Bill, when we went to that break, as we take a look at Bob Knight, Louisville needed that timeout to collect itself, not because of the racehorse style of play, but because of the extended defensive series that they've been involved in.
You expend so much energy just to keep up with the cuts and the bumps and the screens.
Rozier.
They got an offense. He leaned in. Now Rozier is somewhat frustrated, but he had been able to dribble to ecstasy in the first half, that time trying to be creative. He had a nice drop step, but he initiated the contact.
And Denny Crum sees Rozier pick up his 2nd personal with 12:47 remaining. Pat Graham in for Indiana, and for IU fans, Brian Evans is okay. Slightly sprained thumb you saw when he went out. He is expected back.
And he can shoot it.
And he does. Short. Rebounded by Minor.
Tough matchup with Smith down low on Graham if they take advantage.
IU, good job of getting back as a team on defense. Rozier double team, having to work hard for the shot.
Not a good one.
Not at all. Tried to draw the foul.
Indiana will raise you up the floor a little bit so there's room along the baseline.
Nice pass inside to Nova. High percentage shots, as we talked about, Bill.
While you're running over with Nova, thinking he's going to screen, he locks low, and Chaney acknowledges.
6 of 8 from the field for Matt Nova. 5-point Hoosiers lead. Inside, nice pass from Rozier to Brewer. And Brewer has 12 points on the evening.
If Louisville is patient, kick it around, I think they can get a lot of things done.
Well, that guy right there can get a lot of things done.
In fact, some nights you can stick a fork in it.
Oh, my goodness.
He gets you so well done.
6 of 7 from the field for Calbert Chaney. And plenty more to come your way, including the finish of the Western Kentucky Florida State game. We mentioned that marquee matchup with Rogers of Wake Forest, Mashburn of Kentucky. Here it's Rozier of Louisville dropping in the basket. He's got 12.
Nice call because Derwin Webb stepped up. They couldn't get the backside assistance.
And Bill, here's an example of what we're talking about, having to be patient on the defensive end, but an extended defensive series can make you tired as well.
Extremely fatiguing. And they're not going to take bad shots, so you're going to have to play. Now you really have to get tougher if you're Louisville. The last 15, you can't relax. Great job.
Good hustle by Rozier. Now that was excellent hustle. The frustrating part is that it's still Indiana ball.
He did what? If this reminds you of the level of productivity in your office,
Bonehead.
there's something you should know.
It is. Who got the paper stuck in it?
I just put new paper in.
How'd you do it?
Buyers Lab gave every Mita copier they tested their highest rating for uptime. So if you want a more productive office, get a Mita. Call 1-800-ABC-MITA.
If you think you've seen some steals tonight, wait till you visit your Oldsmobile dealer. Because you can now get a Cutlass Sierra with a V6, air, cruise, tilt, AM/FM cassette, and driver's side airbag for just $14,995. Don't push your luck. It's your money.
Tan was feeling a bit one-dimensional. Gotta be more to me than just plain old tan, he said. And Dockers agreed. So from khaki to chamois, Sahara tan to bamboo, we uncovered every beautiful shade tan had to offer. Tan was ecstatic. Said, I'll never work anywhere else. And maybe he won't. Nobody does tan like Dockers.
If there's a problem getting your 800 calls, AT&T guarantees to reroute them within 5 minutes to another phone, even if it's in your home.
Hello, Sam Salmon.
In Nome, one of the 800 reasons to choose AT&T 800 service, the best in the business.
Hocus pocus. It seems everyone is offering financial advice. We put our faith in research, analysis, and experience. Prudential Securities. The most important thing we earn is your trust.
In the city,
Help me, please.
there are crimes of passion. Will 4 cops make a difference?
I think you sent us.
You bet they will. Bodies of evidence, April 2nd.
Pat O'Brien in New York, a thriller going on in Charlotte in the Southeast Regional Semifinal. It's a one-point game now, 1:01, a minute and 1 tick on the clock. Florida State leading Western Kentucky 68-67. We're going to send you down to Charlotte. Dick Stockton, Al McGuire behind the microphones for what could be a surprise finish.
For Western, it won't be his last. Darnell Mee, the leading scorer for Western Kentucky, is fouled out of the game with 21. He's a senior. And Western, with a minute and 1 second left, trailing by 1, and free throws coming up.
They lose a lot with him going out. He deflects balls all the time, Dick. Every time down, he'll get his hand on the ball and deflect it.
There is the story with the foul trouble. Paul, Brown, and Mel have 4. Mee is out of the game. Edwards and Sura with 4 for Florida State. And Chris Robinson, the freshman from Macon, Georgia, has replaced Darnell Mee in the lineup for Western. So Sam Cassell is on the free throw line. He's hit 4 of 5 from there tonight.
He's usually very good under pressure. In the last 2 years, he's won 5 games for the last shot. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him bury these 2 because he's concentrating right now, I believe. Yep. Now they need this one here to get the 1 possession. They need a 3-point spread. So for Western to win, they need have to get the ball twice in the next minute.
Each team still has 2 timeouts remaining.
Oh, it did a lap around the rim and came out.
And Chris Robinson, the rebound. So the lead is 2 now. There's the clock.
36 on the shot clock. Bell misses a two-point attempt. Robinson gets the rebound, puts it back up, and ties the score.
I call a timeout when he brings it over half court and set up for the last shot. They can work it down to 6 seconds.
And a timeout, you're right, folks. You've been there before.
We'll keep you up to date on the game. Let's go back now to St. Louis and James Brown and Bill Raftery.
All right, Pat, and back here in the St. Louis Arena. The Hoosiers on top 65-59 with 8:24 remaining in the contest, and Calbert Chaney continuing to light up the scoreboard. He's got 23 points in the game. At the free throw line right now for Louisville is James Brewer.
Indiana is so good at twisting and turning you. Rozier gambled. He ended up in the open floor with Chaney. He's got to stay at home, but they're exchanging people, and the matchup isn't conducive for Louisville. So they've got, I don't think they should switch as much as they've been doing it lately.
Todd Leary coming in for the Hoosiers, replacing Greg Graham. And Bill, we've talked about this so much. Indiana, as you look at the players individually, they don't scare you in terms of a guy being so overly athletically talented that he could hurt you, but they play so well as a team.
I know you didn't coach against him. That's why you're saying that.
Oh, no, I played against him, and he smoked us as well, too. Rest assured, I know.
You know, the strain between these two coaches, success stories, they're both great teachers. I was a teacher also, but more of the homeroom type.
Keeping the troops together, huh?
Here's the cross court. Let's see if they'll switch now as they make exchanges. Here's the down screen exchange.
Constant movement.
Chaney now with Smith to duck in.
And
nice
Bill,
post pass.
All high percentage shots in the lane.
Well, when you're switching, you never have the footwork to deny an entry pass or to deny the post up to duck it.
Indiana up by 7. 7:43 left in the game. Two teams fighting for the right to move to the regional final here in the Midwest on Saturday.
Now here's the traditional Louisville look. Shuffle cut, dip in on the other side, and look at all the help.
And Morton has to back away and gets the basket, but as you mentioned, a lot of help. All the shots contested.
Leary, to me, brings a lot of excitement to this club. Not afraid to drill the deep one.
And Leary is unbelievably accurate at the free throw line, a 93% free throw shooter.
Now look at the match here. Oh, it's the smaller guy. Minor ends up on Chaney.
25 for Chaney, still with 6:48 left in the game. Hoosiers up 69-62. Morton.
Trying to do it on his own. Got to relax, let it come.
Graham into Chaney.
Two guys stopped the dribble. Nobody played the cutter.
Billy, plays like that serve the purpose of a boxer with a lot of jabs toward the end of the fight.
So you're bleeding.
Starts to wear you down. Absolutely. The sting starts to leave.
Well, they don't have the inside game now. They're relying on the deep shot by Brewer. Come down, get organized. Let them touch it on the box. At least Indiana has to turn and look.
Bailey, Leary, Pat Graham, Matt Nover, and Calvert Chaney, the 5 in white. Calvert Chaney added up 29 points, 9 of 12 from the field for a hot Calvert Chaney. And Denny Crum wants to talk it over.
with the penetration, JB. All the attention on him as he goes airborne. The great self-control. I know you would have stroked that deep one, but he drew the D with the pump and the ability to bounce.
All right, let's go back to Control Central, back to New York, and Pat O'Brien.
All right, JB, thank you. Excitement going on all over the country. Mike Francesa out in Charlotte, a tie ball game with 24 seconds left.
Florida State out of timeouts. They had to call it because Western Kentucky, they got him in a trap right now. And that was a big play there because they got him in a trap. Now Florida State trying to get that last shot of the game.
So if they're fouled, could be an adventure. Edwards very nearly lost it. He's trapped.
Plenty of time left. Wait about 4 more seconds. Wait about 3 seconds. Now go, young man. I would go right now. Go, young man.
Cassell.
There he goes.
Lost his footing. The shot off the rim. And the shot from the corner. No good. We go to overtime.
OT. Beautiful college game.
Ralph Willard's Western Kentucky Hilltoppers Cinderella will go past midnight in this Southeast Regional semifinal.
All right, and so they go to overtime at 69-69 down in Charlotte. Western Kentucky, Florida State, a game we'll be watching for you all night. When we'll go back to that game and bring you up to date on that. Meantime, the game out in St. Louis, 5:25 left on the clock. Indiana leads 73-62. JB and Bill Raftery. James?
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And it has been the Calbert Chaney Show. First half, Calbert Chaney, 14 points. And that having sat down, Bill, for about 6 minutes with 2 personal fouls. And he scored 15 of Indiana's last 21 points. Simply a marvelous show. Minor. And the rebound goes to Indiana, to Pat Graham and Billy. Again, little indications when you start to get tired. Shots off the front of the rim slightly.
That was a good shot. They haven't been able to get good ones.
But fatigue, nonetheless.
They are tired. They've got to get it inside and then out. I think it might be a little easier for them. This is the end that's gotten them fatigued. Got a little, let's see what they got here. Got a little triangle, I think, JB. Trying to take Chaney.
Go ahead.
Trying to take Chaney and Graham out of the game.
Good hustle by Legree to come up with the loose ball.
Here's where good things can happen. Step in a little bit.
Minor. Nothing tired about that shot.
Well, what he did well was when the ball went in, he didn't stay in the same spot. He spaced over 2 feet, so Graham couldn't return quickly. Well, diamond in 1. Chaney being guarded by Keith Legree.
And the patience there offensively may benefit Louisville catching its breath.
You can drive the gaps here. You might get some baseline jumpers out of this.
Nova down low, backs outside. And Leary does the damage inside, back to the outside.
He didn't throw the overalls up, but he spotted up beautifully. That's a gamble. The box in 1, a lot of open areas against a good shooting team.
3:30 left in the game. Indiana on top, 76-65. Morton. Chaney with the rebound. 6 rebounds for Calbert Chaney to go along with 29 points.
As they come up, it opens the corner. Dribble the gap at the elbows, and you got the kick to the corner. They overload one side, leave Chaney on the other, being matched up with Legree. Late in the game, too. Gonna have to decide to come out and play them at some point. Slipping away.
Indiana patiently working on the offensive end, playing the clock. 2:45 left in the game, 5 on the shot clock.
Benny Crumb trying to get them into man-to-man.
Greg Graham. Rebounded by Troy Smith. 2 teams battling for the right to move to the Midwest Regional Final on Saturday. And of course, it all is aiming for a trip to New Orleans for the Final 4. And we've got a break in the action. Indiana on top by 11.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
Isn't it amazing how quick and agile these big guys are? You should test drive the 88 LSS by Oldsmobile. It's very agile. But don't take our word for it. Take Car and Drivers. The 88 luxury sedan, only from Oldsmobile. It's like grace under pressure. It's your money.
Well, there ain't no doubt about the power of do. It's got the airborne thrust of rocket fuel. Get out of that drive. Get out, get into the eye. Vertical, with the power of do. Get vertical, vertical, with the power of do. We know we see all the men you have to be, just how much you give, all the lives you live.
From Gillette Sensor Technology comes the Gillette Series. Shaving, aftershave, and deodorant products to help a man look, feel, and be his best.
The best a man can get.
The Gillette Series. With Gillette Sensor, it's redefining men's grooming.
You are watching the NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
Indiana has tied its biggest lead of the ball game by 11. As you take a look at the numbers on this game here, Indiana blistering from the floor, doing the job still from three-point range, and Calbert Chaney has been the man doing the damage.
Well, they've calmed him down with the box and one, but it's opened up other opportunities. They're going to have to score, get in their full court denial, gamble a little bit, and pressure man-to-man after half court.
Morton rebounded by Smith. And Smith with the foul. Talk strategy now, Bill, with
right
2:10
here,
left.
Like here, I would trap and make them do some things quickly. Force them in, possibly to some mental mistakes. Shoot quick, stop the clock.
And that's exactly what Troy Smith does, fouling with 2:02 left in the game. Indiana on top 76-67. Rozier and Brewer back into the game for Louisville, replacing Webb and Troy Smith.
And you come into a game against Indiana knowing they're lean up front, particularly with Alan Henderson not able to contribute as he did all during his career. And yet Louisville not a backcourt violation here. John Clockety right on top of it.
Louisville with a minute 57 left, trailing 76-67.
I think John's saying that he caught it in the back and came over. Bobby may have a good argument, but he doesn't have a whistle.
Well, some will say he does.
In a way, he does control them. Now, Indiana's idea is to force him to take tougher shots and make them use the clock via their defense.
And Brewer stops the clock by fouling Calbert Chaney, a 79% free throw shooter on the season, but still fouls to give. And Indiana has some excellent free throw shooters in there. As I mentioned, Chaney at 79%, Pat Graham at 76%, Leary at 93%, so certainly the move for Bob Knight.
Number 4, I believe, on Morton. They're just trying to get themselves in position to give the fouls down the stretch. Pretty heady move.
And plenty to give. 14 fouls for Indiana, 5 for the Cardinals.
That's the disadvantage of not fouling early. They caused the timeout.
And a timeout called by Calvert Chaney with 1:43 left.
I know basketball. I used to ref the pros. And out here, for sure, this is not as serious. How can it be? But with no uniforms, no coaches, no announcers, and especially no referees. How real can a game be with no referee? I mean, next thing you know, someone catches an elbow. Who's going to call it? See? Blatant lane violation, no call.
Drive to work. Drink bad coffee. Sit in dull meeting. Sit in really dull meeting. Skip lunch. Handle new crisis. Postpone vacation plans. Drive home. Not a bad day. The new GS.
It's tough to keep ahead of the competition. You gotta move fast to stay on top. You need two-day priority mail. In 2 days, we deliver 2 pounds for only $2.90. If the competition's new rates are just too much, visit your post office to send 2-day priority mail or call 1-800-USPS for your free starter kit.
We deliver for you. Mommy, what are you doing?
Well, sweetie, where Mommy works, some people are losing their jobs.
Eric's dad lost his job and they had to move.
This is our home, sweetie, and nothing's gonna make us move. That's why Mommy's starting her own business. Does that scare you?
No, are you scared?
No. Are you?
No, are you?
For their mother's birthday, 3 children plan the ultimate celebration.
Happy birthday!
But will her secret wish come true? An all-new Dr. Quinn Saturday.
1:43 remaining. Indiana on top, 76-67. Louisville with 2 more fouls to give before you get to the 1-and-1. They've got to stop the clock, Bill.
Well, see, when they try and do it in the backcourt, I think a referee should call it. They know what's going on. I mean, it's a coaching technique. Neither coach would be upset instead of letting the second slip. But here's a case where Denny Crum not shooting real well, not scoring, not getting in for the all-court pressure. That 5-second.
And right now, let's take it from St. Louis.
Pat O'Brien and New York going to jump in here for a minute and get you out to Charlotte. The clock is ticking down there. 80-78 is our score. Florida State leading Western Kentucky. Let's listen in to Dick and Al.
You got to extend your defense against Western because you can't give them the three-point shot.
Timeout. Western Kentucky uses one of its 3 timeouts remaining.
With the timeout there and a 2-point game, we'll keep you up to date on that one. Let's go back to St. Louis, Indiana, Louisville. 76-67. Here's JB and Bill.
All right, Pat, and with 1:23 left in the ball game. Louisville trailing 76-67.
They need their quick hitters, JB.
Morton tries it. Rebound goes the other way.
Now they got to get their press set up. They can't relax. Get on the inbound. They're front the logical pass receivers.
With Charlotte a timeout now and a 2-point game, 21 seconds left. Let's go back to St. Louis. A minute 9 left of that game. Indiana leads 76-67. Here's JB.
And a foul here on the core. And Louisville over the limit. So Indiana will take it to the free throw line. Well, clock management certainly is important, and we talked again at the top of the show about 2 experienced minds, and you got to assume until the clock is at 0, you can do everything possible to try to get back in it.
Yeah, Denny's dilemma, the advantage there in the free throw line, his dilemma is they're not able to get quick hitting type of offense going. Everything takes time, and they force the tough shots.
47 seconds left in the ball game, and Morton way short.
I don't know. Not necessary, really. The other thing, too, with such a deficit, think about the twos. Get the twos, get your press, get something out of that until you get in healing distance. A lot of clubs will go for the three, thinking it'll get them right back quickly, when in fact you can get the two, maybe get a steal or create a 5-second violation.
And the foul, as Chaney will take a trip to the free throw line. And if this holds up, Indiana will move to the Midwest Regional Final on Saturday and await the winner of the game coming up in the nightcap here between the number 6 seed.
Good game going on in Charlotte. 21 seconds. They resume play now. A 2-point game. Western Kentucky with the ball. Let's listen in.
Florida State, I extend my defense. Don't give him the three-point shot under any conditions.
Fralix is not the shooter. He's looking for help, and he throws the ball away. Fralix threw the ball away. He was trying to get it to Darius Hall. And now Western calls a timeout. They'll be left with one, but a critical turnover.
Back to St. Louis now and Indiana Louisville, and we'll get you back to the finish for the other game.
All right, Pat, and the guy putting the finishing touches here, Calvert Chaney, who has had himself simply an outstanding game, 30 points on the evening in Indiana, up 77-67, 31 seconds left. And Minor off the mark. Rozier left to go up uncontested.
Really never got the press going, JB. Look at the speed. They also had the numbers at the other end. If Greg Graham had seen Matt Nover, but not forcing the errors that Louisville, I think, expected. Knight, once again, as with Xavier, able to get the ball with proper deployment to spots that are damaging to the opponent.
And as we look at the Cardinals again at the top of the game, Billy, many people thought this team had a shot at doing some damage against Indiana because of its rebounding prowess, and especially with a less than effective Alan Henderson. But once again, Indiana showing that it plays good team ball.
Well, the defense is something that everybody fears when you come against Indiana, but I would be concerned about them pushing the ball, forcing you back, either with the dribble or the quick pass, and stepping into good shooting areas. There's a good defensive team, a great running team, and a team that takes good shots.
Brewer shot blocked by Graham. And boy, has Graham done whatever has been needed as well. Well, they Chaney having a little fun here with Leary.
Well, they say his personality has taken over this club. Calvert Chaney, no question about his basketball playing ability. Even though he fouled out and had for him a fair game. He's a great-looking basketball player. And they expect to be back and ready next year. Danny Crumfields is recruiting.
Great time to be a basketball fan while you're watching Indiana advance in the tournament. We're going to show you the finish of the Florida State Western Kentucky game, a 2-point game. Here's Dick and Al.
To come back down and score 3 points. Good. Let too much off the clock. Let a second and a half off the clock. That's too much time off.
Derek Carroll was fouled. Freshman from Columbia, South Carolina, but he's 2 for 2 from the line. 5.6 seconds. Western Kentucky has 1 timeout remaining. Florida State has 1 timeout left. And if you're wondering, the possession arrow favors Western Kentucky.
This is 6'7". Hope they're holding hands there. Wish you luck, guys, but this guy can shoot, this freshman.
Florida State 17 of 36 from the line. But they've been a little more successful in the overtime period.
He gets 2 shots automatically now. Remember that, because it's after the 10th personal foul. Ooh, he missed the big one.
What this means is that if he hits the free throw, Western Kentucky can still tie it with a 3-point basket.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005.
But if he had made both,
it'll be over.
If he had made both, it would have been 4 points, and Western would have been out of luck.
I would put one guy up.
There's the pass to Robinson. Timeout with 4 seconds to go. And that was a good play because now they will inbound from midcourt.
Good. Ralph Willard is a good coach. I hope Western can maintain him, but that guy is going to the big conferences in time. He knows how to...
All right, with a timeout there and a 3-point game, let's go back to St. Louis. Indiana, Louisville, 5 seconds on the clock. Here's James Brown.
All right, Pat, and no doubt about the outcome here as Reynolds misses the second free throw, but Indiana will pull out the victory by the score of 82-69 over Louisville, and the #1 ranked team in the country and the top seed here in the Midwest moves on to the Midwest Regional Final coming up on Saturday. So Indiana, behind the 32 points of Calbert Cheney, knocks off the 4th seed Louisville and moves ahead to Saturday's final. The Chevrolet MVPs, Calbert Cheney and Greg Minor of Louisville. So for Bill Raftery and Leslie Visser, I'm James Brown. Indiana winner as we take you back to New York and Pat O'Brien.
All right, JB, thank you very much. And so Indiana, the first team to advance to the Elite Eight. And we